Hey everyone, a beautiful time of day actually. I just finished up consulting for the day. Thursdays I consult daytime, rest of the week is evenings. But a beautiful time of day to just kind of stop and I looked out the window and the sun is really low in the sky now. It's kind of gold and red, orange. It's just kind of really beautiful. And after I've cut this video, I'm going to kind of take a 10-mile ride up around the lake. As you know, I spend a fair bit of time up there during the autumn and during the winter months. But here's the thing, guys, this is what I really want to share with you today. So this morning I received this email and it was from this holiday company. You kind of get so much trash sent to you these days. And I always think to myself, I wanted to know about that, I'd come and ask you, modern day living, technology and all of that. But it's this holiday company offering a very misleading romantic Christmas break for two. And it kind of made me laugh. It was really archetypal, but kind of really magical. Log fire, mountain air, Christmas sleigh ride, and of course all at a reduced cost. Buy now, quick, buy quickly, fast, last spaces, etc. Check the small print, that's for sure. But what was really interesting about it was headed, "What if you are the perfect one for me?" And this kind of got me thinking, because I kind of spend a lot of time kind of working on kind of during the holistic consultations, the holistic mediumship that I do, and the way I approach everything. It's kind of all about spirit, myself, giving you a greater understanding of who you are, where you are, and importantly why you are where you are. So whatever's going on in your world, why you are in it, giving you a greater understanding of yourself, which is really, really important. And this email this morning, this this misleading Christmas break, and it got me thinking, because, what if you were the perfect one for me was the header. And it got me thinking about the one, okay? And it got me thinking, that within this life, all of us at some point in our lives have searched for the one. Is it not natural to search for that one? It's a deep inbuilt desire that we all have, that we search for love, we search for the one. But here's the thing, I wrote a blog about this morning, but what I didn't weave into the blog, which I wanted to kind of weave into the video version of it, is that I think what we're really searching for is that connection to wholeness, to that connection, to that sense of feeling whole, feeling as if we belong. There's some of the sayings that you say when you feel you found that one person within this life, that you feel, do you know what, it was if I recognized them. It was if I just felt very complete, I felt very whole. The opposite side of that is that when those kind of relationships break down and your world feels like it's turned upside down, you actually feel the opposite for feeling whole. You feel the opposite from feeling complete. You feel torn apart, ripped apart. Some of the sayings, some of the emotions, some of the ways you express that is that I just feel completely empty. I feel completely lost, which is the opposite to feeling at one, feeling whole and feeling complete. So I feel that what we're doing in fact in searching for that very one is we're searching for oneness without altogether realizing what we're seeking is a deep connection. But here's the thing, you are the one. not everyone is going to kind of agree with this, and that's okay, and I'm really okay with this. It's not about you agreeing with me. It's that I'm just kind of sharing some of my insights, some of my thoughts and feelings that have kind of led me to this point in time where I kind of sit with you today, and all my experiences from here all the way back as far as I can remember, within the work that I do, and within kind of, journeying through life, and the experiences of life. But what I'm after is you not kind of agreeing with me. I'm just kind of sharing those thoughts and feelings. But you know what? If this makes you stop, this makes you pause, this makes you reflect and take a look at things kind of differently, then that's good, and that's what I'm kind of trying to create and stir up in you, especially today. So the one, the thing is, the more I kind of journey through this life, the more conversations I have with the innate, the more I speak to those closest to me, the more consultations I hold, the more deeply I understand and come to realize that the one person that truly calls for your love and your time and your attention is you. I've had the most amazing and beautiful experiences in this life. I've loved very hard, and I've also lost. If we look at what I was just kind of sharing with you a few moments back, is that what we're seeking is that kind of connection to wholeness, to feeling that we've arrived home. We're seeking out a connection that we, in a way, find with another. But actually, what we kind of lost in all of this is the importance of the connection to self and beyond. And that's what I really feel that we're kind of seeking out without kind of realizing it, that sense of just being with another, and you feel as if you're completely at home, you're completely at one, which is why people go, it was like deja vu. It was as if I knew that person before, because what you're seeing is the glimpses of the oneness, of the wholeness, of the completion, of the totality, of the connection, I think, to absolutely the innate and to source. And as I say, I'm coming at this from a very real perspective. I've loved very hard in this lifetime, and I've lost, and I've been heartbroken, and my heart has been broken into 1,000 pieces in this life. And at that level, you feel as if actually, you're never ever going to recover. And you know what you do, and that's the important thing, is that you, given time, you do recover, and you begin to, I feel, you kind of begin to find that sense of self. The thing is, with some of those experiences, I'd love you more than I loved myself, or you could ever love me. Each time, those experiences were teaching me to never abandon myself, teaching me to love myself more fully, more deeply. I would pour so much energy into trying to make it work, trying to help, trying to heal. But in doing so, I would abandon my own needs, or abandon my truth in that process. Because the desire, to recognise or honour my own worth was not as strong as it was for me to show you yours. And in doing so, I absolutely abandon myself, and lose myself. Every experience, though, this is the key, every experience we have, we grow some more. I was never ever the same person the other side of that. How could you be? You go into the experience one person, and you come out the other side of it another. Here's a lovely quote for you. Your value does not decrease. So your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. And another aspect of this, and I've heard some dear friends say this as well, is that because someone tells you something, it doesn't mean it's fact or real. So if someone says that you're worthless and you're nothing and you're rubbish, does it mean that that's fact? It doesn't always mean that it's a truth. It can be a version of that person's experience that doesn't mean it's right. So when we kind of foster and nurture a strong sense of self, because someone rejects us or someone abandons us, someone says, you know what, you're not right for me, it doesn't mean that you're not right. Okay? Even my AS, so looking back, even my AS at times, which is the ankylosing spondylitis, that autoimmune condition, that has been my challenge and also my gift. It was trying to teach me, rather than fight the condition, to love it. It was teaching me to love myself, to become my own best friend, to become kinder to myself, to nurture myself. Because you can fight it, but actually what you're doing is fighting yourself. Is in a way it was trying to teach me to kind of foster and nurture and love myself. The thing is, all of our lives, they often move in patterns, which are great opportunities. They're huge opportunities for change. Looking back, I can look back and see that my old fears would come up, fears of being emotionally abandoned. But yet, the more I foster my sense of self and my oneness, I started to do something that I didn't know I could do. I started to say no. Not loudly, not forcefully, but just no. Because I felt it, I knew it, I'd become it. No to repeating the same mistake. So at that level you start breaking patterns of a lifetime, which is huge, and those patterns, when you start breaking them, they need to be celebrated. As I said to you in previous kind of videos, is spirit are then sitting on the sidelines, willing us, cheering us on to overcome these challenges. And these are some of the greatest. This is at the crux of so much within life. So I started to do something differently. I started to say no to repeating those same mistakes. And I don't even see them as a mistake. They're gifts, they're lessons, And I stopped kind of allowing everything to kind of move into crisis or even the bitter end. Stop allowing it to move into chaos. It was time to set my boundaries, and state my worth, and I was prepared, and I'm prepared to walk away. You see, the thing is, each relationship is an immense gift. Take a moment now, just take a moment right now and ask yourself this. What are you learning in your relationship? Or what are you learning by being alone? What have you learned from your past and previous relationships? I think asking yourself those very important questions is absolutely worth its weight in gold. Having the courage to be truly honest with yourself is the greatest of things. It's no different in a way to the approach I have when the seasons change and they turn. I go off somewhere special, somewhere that's familiar to me, somewhere I've experienced the kind of turning of the year, the changes within the seasons. I sit and I light a fire, and what I really do is I sit with myself and have a deeper conversation with my deeper self. And I look and I think to myself, over this last season, this last quarter, what have been my joys? What have been my triumphs, my celebrations? and also my sorrows and my pains. But importantly, what can I take from them all? What can I do differently? And where am I going? And I think that that's a really, really important thing to do, is to kind of stop, pause, reflect, have those honest conversations. I think it's about speaking your truth and trying as much as we can to come from that authentic place. I think sometimes it matters not if you're understood or you're heard, to be honest. I think what matters is that what you say comes from that honest and authentic place of integrity, because sometimes people don't want to hear that truth, they don't want to hear those things. But what matters is that you said it and it's come from your heart. For me, I think it's about taking responsibility for my own outcome in all of this. Sometimes it is about the parting of ways, not because it's bad, but just maybe because it's taken its journey. It's a shared experience that's run its course. And sometimes those experiences are profound, life-changing experiences. There are people that are, feel that are sent to you, and they totally transform your life and touch the lives of those around you, and in the most beautiful ways. Almost it's a gift, almost like heaven sent. Yet the important thing is recognizing when it's time to let them and you go, to honour them, to thank them, and to hold dear all the experiences and all the time shared. And importantly, then find the courage to take a breath and to breathe and to absolutely trust the process. I look back and I don't regret the path that has been taken. But going back, if you said to me, do you want to change all this? I would have given anything to change it. At that particular time, I would have given anything for it to be different. But I look back, I don't regret that path that's been taken or the experiences I've had, including those heartaches. For each one has brought me right to this point as I sit here now, as that sun drops lower in the sky. The point is, it's taken me to this place of seeing my intrinsic worth, my self-worth, something that we're all born with, and at times I think becomes lost and forgotten or beaten out of us. We must remember who we are and nurture it, firstly within, nurture it within before it can be mirrored back to us fully. It's knowing that from a deeper inner place that, others cannot define who we are. Only we can really do that. Don't abandon yourself. Just sometimes that one person that is calling for your time and attention the most is you. The one person that does not benefit from you can sometimes be you. Become your best friend. I can remember a dear friend Matt sharing experience with his daughter, and his daughter said, Daddy, who is it that you spend the most time with? And he said, it's you. And she went, no. And he went, Mummy, no. And he looked at her, and I think the gist of it was, he turned, she went, it's you. You spend the most time with you. And if you can't love that person, you can't be that best friend to you, what a profound thing. Coming from a young girl, that's so profound. The wisdom that we have when we're young, that I think sometimes as we go forward, we forget it, we lose it. We want to try and hold it dear, I don't now fear being emotionally abandoned, and that's been a big raw thing. Whenever there's kind of a change, or we go through those real big trials and real kind of times where worlds are turned upside down, is that it leaves us feeling very, very lost and just broken into 1,000 pieces. Is what I've come to really discover, and it also kind of weaves into a video that I'm going to put into the blog. This video and another video is that anyone there. My experience of kind of my whole world being turned upside down, and the one thing I could always count on the most, and always was a constant in my world, was spirit. And actually I turned to them for that support and that kind of navigation, only to discover that they weren't there. There was nothing there. Hence, is there anyone there? Worth a listen to. But what that done is that it empowered me to begin to rely on me and to not abandon myself. Okay, so I kind of look and I think to myself, I no longer fear being emotionally abandoned by another, because I won't abandon myself anymore. I read this recently, and I really kind of, it stirred up some thought for me. And I thought it was a profound piece of advice, and it goes like this: you won't know if someone's the one until your last dying breath. When death is looking you straight back at you in the eyes, and you have that one last moment to reflect back on your life, you will then see who took that life journey with you. You will know without regret that you wouldn't change your history together for anything. It's then and only then you'll know that she or he is the one. So, some last thoughts, okay? I think this is what's really important, is don't focus on finding the one, focus on becoming the one, and live your life to the fullest. Fall in love with yourself, not in an egotistical way, not like if you were an ice cream you're going to eat yourself way, okay, but in a loving, caring, nurturing way. Fall in love with life and magic will really happen. And P.S. If you sleep alone, don't sleep on what was your side of the bed. Sleep in the goddamn middle. Claim that space. Be happy with you and where you are. We all have chased after someone at one point in our lives, hoping to find the right one. But somewhere along that process, we've lost sight on the importance of becoming the one, because we are the one. Become your best friend. There you go, guys. Like I say, take a look at the blog. In there you'll find video links. And the blog can be found on Spirit Meets Adventure on Facebook. We're also on Instagram as well, which is shane.gad, and also my YouTube channel as well. But yes, take a look at the other video, Is There Anybody There? That will give you a kind of understanding of where that process started, but where I find myself even to this day. It's something that unfolds and unravels over time. We don't just find this awareness. It's not something that comes easy. You're talking about something that is fundamentally I believe, one of the biggest challenges we can ever overcome in this life, which is really becoming at home with ourselves. And even the AS has taught me that, if you've got a physical disability, which I've had, and I can remember in my early days when I was very unwell, of looking at a reflection of myself as I walk towards like a shopping mall. You've got the glass mirror windows and you catch a reflection. I hated that, and I can remember people going, "Oh God, look at him. He's really crippled." People I think are a lot more sensitive as time's gone forwards. But nowadays I really don't see myself in that way. And actually, the closest friends of mine say to me they don't even see that in me. And when you think about what I do, the adventuring side of what we do, I really don't kind of allow that to be a problem. So I'm comfortable completely with myself. But this is something that is taken a lifetime. It's not something you just find, and importantly is you become comfortable with self. And that's why I say to you, if someone says something, it doesn't mean it's true, and if someone rejects you, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. It just means that it's not right for you. And quite often the other side of that, you look back on that and think, actually that needs to happen for a reason. Trust the process. Go leave that with you. Bit of a long video, but worth its weight, I think. Take care, guys. As always, a pleasure.